Welcome to episode 25 of the Trackside Podcast, live Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's about to start. Me and Olly are going to watch it, do a bit of a watch along. Really excited. There are so many different scenarios. Of course, the main one being Lewis's last race at Mercedes. We're both kitted out in Mercedes Lewis merch. I don't know how I'm going to react to this. I am very emotional watching all the build-up and all the montages they put together. But there's so many other things as well. We're about 10 minutes to the light. Let's quickly go into quali, Olly. Ah, that rhymes. That's so good. How has it taken us all year to realise that rhymes? But McLaren, for the constructors, they look like it's pretty much theirs to lose.
I mean, they have started the weekend perfectly. They've done everything they need to do to put themselves on the front foot. I mean, they already are anyway. They're obviously ahead by, I want to say, 28 points.
It's quite a lot.
In the constructors. But still, regardless, they're ahead by a lot.
21. It's just come up. 21.
Obviously, Leclerc starting on the back row, not very good. McLaren starting both of them on the front row. Absolutely incredible start for them. So, I mean, it's pretty much a slam dunk now for McLaren winning the Constructors. But we never know what happens in Formula One racing. Obviously,
McLaren have got that 1-2, but then, and Sainz is in P3, but not only did Ferrari and Leclerc have to take a 10-place grid penalty for changing the battery, but he also had an invalid lap time. So he's actually starting from P19. So he's going to have to really make his way up the field.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of invalid lap times actually yesterday. Like there were a turn one especially. They brought in that new camera. I can't remember what it's called, but that new camera where it literally cuts it down pixel by pixel of how close the drivers are. Obviously, Perez got very, very lucky in Q1 with his lap time not being deleted, but very, very controversial. Piastri, of course.
That Japan game at the World Cup with the ball, did it go over the line?
Yeah.
It's all about the camera angles.
From Karu Matoma, obviously. So.
Yeah. Right, I've just realised I'm taking this out the back because we don't have advertisement. So, calendar chocolate, you cannot be shown on the Trackside Pod.
But no, I'm really, really looking forward to this weekend. Obviously, there has been sparks flying around the paddock. Obviously, we discussed last week the disagreements between George Russell and Max Verstappen, and they have escalated massively coming into this weekend. George saying that Max allegedly said, "I'm going to put you on your effing head in the wall." I mean, I've been saying this to everyone, and I've said this to you so many times this season, Ben, and it keeps on happening. I keep on saying, look, you've got to respect Max for what he's doing because he's doing absolutely incredibly. And then a few races later, he goes and does something, and it's like you're just taking it all back to square one. Like, you've gained people's respect again, and then you're going back to the point of what you were like in 2021, 2020, your earlier years, where just because you're not winning, you're losing your head. And I mean,
it's ridiculous. There's quite a lot of rumours that he's retiring because they just announced, obviously, the pregnancy. He always said that he was going to wait until he retired to have children, even though he, said that he's almost pretty much like a bonus dad. But that for his own children, that he was going to wait until he'd finished. There's lots of sort of rumours that he's said it multiple times as well. He doesn't want to do another 10 years. I always thought, I think, when's the end of his contract? 2028. I always thought that would be the end, but who knows? It could be sooner. But I don't think it will be. This is his last race. I don't see that.
No. I think
it's Perez's last race.
100%.
This is the most obvious thing ever. Isaac Hadjar is driving the V-Carb next year. He's pretty much let it slip. Lawson, with his smirk, has pretty much let it slip that he's driving the Red Bull next year. And I think Perez is going to be an ambassador. So make of that what you will.
I just don't understand how Tsunoda hasn't got the seat. Like, what does that man need to do to get the Red Bull?
In every qualifying session.
I know. It's just, I really, really feel for him. And I think if next season things don't go his way at RB and say he doesn't get a promotion to Red Bull the following year for 26, then I think he has to try and find a way out of the whole Red Bull Academy kind of program.
I do agree.
Because he deserves so much more. I mean, he's proved, so he came in, when did he come in? 2021 or 2020?
2021, I think.
And I mean, obviously his first season wasn't great. Second season, a little bit better. Yeah, but he was very hit and miss, wasn't he? But now he's at a point where I genuinely think if he was at one of the bigger teams, he could really be something special. And the fact that he's being kept at RB and he's not getting that promotion, I don't know what Helmut Marko has against him, but it's just not right. It is really not right that he's not been given a fair shot for that Red Bull seat. I mean, it looks like he's just been totally overlooked.
Well, as I said at the start of this podcast, there's so many different scenarios of today. Of course, we've got suppose the main one. Well, the main one being the constructors' title fight, but actually, I think the main one's Lewis's last race with Mercedes, and I'm not just saying that as an avid fan. I think the reality of it is that Lewis is bigger than the sport. You can't deny it. It shows on followers and awareness and everything like that. So those are clearly the two main ones. You've then got Magnussen, probably is his last ever race in Formula One. You've got loads of drivers who have got their last races at specific teams before they move. You've obviously got Jack Doohan making his Formula One debut. You've got Valtteri Bottas, potential last race as well. I think he's going to be Mercedes' new reserve driver. Mick Schumacher's just left. It makes so much sense for Bottas to go in there as a third driver. What else have we got? We've got obviously battle for P6. Well, Ocon's not here, but you've got the battle for P6 between Haas and Alpine. VCarb are in the mix as well, but I don't think they will be.
Have you seen that that's already kicked off? Race hasn't even started, and Lawson's going over the radio saying that Magnussen done a practice start in the pit lane.
Yeah, practice start. Yeah, absolutely. So there is a lot. There's a lot to play for today. Obviously, you've got Lewis and Leclerc coming through the field as well. And then, of course, the biggest of them all, the Trackside Pod F1 Predictions League. Now, Ollie, you are still in this. It's going to have to be the biggest comeback of all time. You're on 69 points. Will is on 79. I'm on 80. You will need a full 10-pointer, get all top 5 correct to be in for a chance. And then still, with our additional fastest lap point for this race weekend, is only if it comes down to tiebreaker. So as William Smith could not understand yesterday, it only comes into play if there's a tie. It doesn't count as a point in any other scenario unless there are a tie. Me and Will have got different predictions. I always put mine in first. He's come and put in his second. You've put yours in third this week. And I think there's about 4 differences. We've even got different winners. He's gone for Piastri. I've gone for Norris. So that could even
I've gone for Norris as a winner, haven't I?
Yeah. So there is lots to play for. I've got my fastest lap just in case of a tiebreaker. Leclerc, you've gone for Norris. He's gone for Hamilton. After a lot whatever. So that is that. I think I can actually, you know what? Because we're live, we might as well, bit of time. I read through our predictions. And so, Ollie, we will start with you. You have gone for Norris to win, Piastri second. A 1-2 for McLaren the way that they're starting. You've got Verstappen to finish third. You've got Sainz to finish fourth and Russell to finish fifth. Ironically, we've all got Russell to finish fifth, by the way, across the board. But I've got Norris to win as well, but I've got Sainz to beat Piastri to P2. I think that he's going to get up there early and he'll try and do something about it, but it won't affect the constructors. McLaren will come out on top. I've got Verstappen fourth. Will has gone Piastri to win it. And it's big. It is a big, big move and gamble, but I just can't see McLaren allowing them to fight this weekend. I've got Norris second, Verstappen third. Will's got Norris second, Verstappen third, Sainz fourth, and Russell fifth. So he always gets like these little P4s, doesn't he? And it could be crucial in this championship fight. But nevertheless, I think either way, it's a proud championship for me because I've led for quite a while, and then when I haven't, I've stayed in it. And it's actually been really fun to do. And all 3 of us have had one correct weekend as well, which is nice.
We've done well to an extent, but just quickly to cover off a few more things. So I've seen one little additional thing on Twitter before we started recording that apparently there are talks in the works that Toto Wolff could potentially swap Antonelli and Sainz for the Mercedes seat for next season. Now, I don't know how true that is. What? Just a rumour I've seen on Twitter.
I've not even seen that, mate.
it could be something that happens. But I think I just want to cover off Formula 2 quickly, as the race is starting very soon. They're just about to start the formation lap. And Gabriel Bortoleto, congratulations on becoming another one of a very elite list of drivers who have won back-to-back championships in Formula 3 and Formula 2. Obviously joining Oscar Piastri, George Russell and Charles Leclerc, I want to say. So huge, huge achievement for the Brazilian driver, obviously part of the McLaren Junior Academy, but is going to be driving for Sauber next year. So a lot of eyes are going to be on him come the first race of the season. But yeah, brilliant performance all weekend. Done all that he needed to do. He was only half a point ahead, but in the sprint race, he managed to put himself 4.5 points ahead after the disqualification of Paul Aron. Aided the Rebel Junior Isaac Hadjar to move 2 points closer, because it was initially 6.5 points difference before the feature race, but Paul Aron's disqualification for a DRS infringement brought them closer together. And then this morning, you might have seen the TikTok I've done about it, but Isaac Hadjar stalled it on the line, ultimately ruining his championship hopes. So for all the hype that was coming into this weekend, it was all built up for this morning. It died within the first 5 seconds. And as I said on the TikTok, we don't usually get disappointed from Formula 2, but this morning really was a sour moment for the series. Obviously, seeing these two title contenders going at it all year, doing absolutely brilliantly. Hadjar had a massive lead at one point. Bortoleto brought it back. He's had some brilliant performances. Won the championship fair and square this morning. But yeah, just for Hadjar, unfortunately, was not his day. But yes, Gabriel Bortoleto, Formula 2 champion. Isaac Hadjar in second, and Paul Aron in third. So for Formula 2, that is all wrapped up. And also, congratulations to Abby Pulling for, on Friday night, reclaiming her F1 Academy world title this season. Obviously, she was
a little bit silly. But
she was giving it, she was giving it in Qatar, and then it was taken off her because they said that they were going to do a third race for Abu Dhabi because they only done one race in Qatar. So she then went and done an absolute masterclass. So the way that F1 Academy's pole times works, they do 2 races but do 1 qualifying session. And the qualifying is done by your so race 1 is done by your first fastest lap, and then race 2 is done by whoever done the second fastest lap in the session, or like stuff like that. So say if Abby Pulling she done her first fastest lap, and then Dorian Pan done the second fastest lap, and then Abby Pulling's second fastest lap was slower than Dorian Pan's, and Pan would start the second race on pole. But that wasn't the case. Abby Pulling set the 3 fastest lap times of the session, meaning she started all 3 races on pole. Absolutely incredible. So absolutely brilliant to see her doing well once again this weekend. Obviously, she's not been off the podium all season, which is absolutely ridiculous.
I know.
And
incredible.
We are now just about to get underway as the cars arrive at the grid.
This is such a crazy moment. I remember sitting in our exact lecture when the Hamilton news came through. It's been an entire season. It's been an unbelievable season. And it's nearly lights out in Abu Dhabi for the finale 2024 Grand Prix. Oh, do you know what? There will be spells in this race, maybe even a large part where there isn't much going on. We know Abu Dhabi isn't actually the greatest track in the world. But nevertheless, it's still exciting, and you've got to cherish these next 50-odd laps because we won't get it for another 4 or 5 months. But yeah.
Oh, Ben, did you see the people at the McLaren Technology Centre in Woking?
Yeah, big up Woking.
Doing the live watch.
Big up Woking.
You got to mention, mate. You got to mention.
It's green flags. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Away we go! Come on, right. Oh!
So my lights have only just got out, so I can't wait to see what's happened here.
no, Ollie, we can't be having that with you this far behind.
No.
Was that
dear.
So is that Verstappen and Piastri?
I think that was Piastri. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that Gasly in P3, by the way? It is.
Gasly in P3, yeah.
Wow.
Haas on the outside of a Sauber. Haas all the way down the inside. Oh! Perez is spun. Oh, this is chaos first lap. Ollie, we got to find a way of you catching up, mate, because otherwise this is going to be...
Yeah.
Oh, Sauber broke. No, don't. No, is that Bottas? No. I really wanted him to get points.
Well, usually Abu Dhabi doesn't... Jesus Christ, there's a big bit of carbon fibre going up into the air. But usually Abu Dhabi doesn't bring out many exciting races. But this race so far, oh my, this could really be something.
Wow. I'm gutted for Valtteri. I am gutted for Valtteri. I really wanted him to get his first points of the season.
And Lewis is also P12 as well.
Let's have a look at this restart. So, I mean, Max does get an unbelievable start. I don't know why Piastri would go across, but they both get in each other's way. But Max, look. Oh, to be fair, I didn't realise Max fell that far back down. I'll be honest with you, I didn't realise got a yellow flag in sector 3. What could that be for? What happened?
Yeah, that'll be for the carbon fibre, won't it?
Perez is out. Sergio Perez is out of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on lap 2.
Oh my God.
And that is it. That is his Formula 1 career done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen.
He has got to go. He has got to go.
Max is into 11th, 1 place ahead of Hamilton. And we've got a virtual safety car.
Wow. Literally just as Max over...
Leclerc is up to P8. Leclerc, who started in 19th place, is up to 8th place.
How has that happened?
You've got Haas in 5 and 7, but Alpine in 3. That's massive for the championship. I don't know how that works out, but I think there's 8 points in it. And Gasly would be adding 15. Haas would be adding 8 and 4. No, 6 and 10, 16. So they'd be gaining 1, but they'd be 7 behind. I think that's how it would go. If it's the 8-point lead.
Wow.
Verstappen's lost 7 places. Leclerc has gained 11 places on the start. Wow.
That is incredible. I mean, we said at the start the Constructors is over. It is not over quite yet. This really could be a really, really good race.
21, Norris would add 25 to that. So that's 46. But then Sainz has got 18. So 46 minus 18 is 28. And then Leclerc's got 4. So it's 24. So they still have a 20. So currently have a 3-point advantage. Is that right?
Lando is doing all he needs to do to win the Constructors for McLaren here.
Yeah.
But yeah, what an incredible start to this race, by the way. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything to happen, but my oh my.
Virtual safety car engine.
That is fantastic.
Norris looked like he pulled away much quicker there, but I don't know if that was just the camera angle. Green flag.
I tell you what,
racing.
Haas are doing incredibly so far.
You know what? I'm just gutted Lewis isn't up there because I really think he could have challenged this weekend. Russell.
Well, he's still only in 12th.
Round the outside of Gasly. Oh, good defending from Gasly there. He keeps P3. Verstappen's up to 10th.
Yeah, I've just seen that.
Colapinto. Ollie King before the buzz cut is in 17th place. That is crazy start.
Jack doing in his first race weekend. But yeah, crazy start to the race. I mean, did not expect for any of this to kick off. I mean,
No.
Do you reckon it's because Max still has a bit of a bee under his bonnet that he was maybe a bit too aggressive going?
Whoa! Piastri had to put on the brakes there. That would have been a Ricardo Verstappen Azerbaijan crash there. That is, if anything, the braking's more
Wow.
impressive.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Did they collide? That would have to be a penalty for Piastri if so, causing a collision.
I mean, a double front lockup, that's not going to be good for his tyres, especially at
It
this
is
point
so
in the
rare to
race.
see Verstappen involved in an incident and him come out. I suppose he hasn't come out worse because he's only 10th and Piastri's 18th, but normally something will happen to Verstappen and he's able to carry on.
I'll tell you what, he got very lucky with the fact that when his car spun around, it then came back to the exact position or the exact following the track.
A bit like Budapest. Was it last year or 2022 where he did the 4.360?
Yes. So there you go. Yeah, the constructors, they are still, as you said, Ben, 24 points ahead.
No, I was my
so
mathing. So Colapinto's boxed.
Was mathing.
Stroll up to 9th. I see both Aston Martins in the points today. Because the way you have to look at it, the way you have to look at it for these drivers, like the best of the rest, the top of the midfield, the best that you can finish technically is 8th because Perez is irrelevant in this. So 8th is the best you can finish.
Well, he is literally irrelevant in the race now. So
as soon as sort of 8th, as soon as drivers drop out, the 7th, the 6th, the 5th of the worlds are the really, really big days. So obviously you've got Gasly in 3rd, which is massive, but Hülkenberg in 5th, Alonso in 6th. These are really big. Who's that in the pits? Piastri.
Oscar Piastri. Yeah, it was mentioned just a second ago, Ben. I don't know if you saw it on the comms on the side. I think I might be maybe caught up with you now.
Did you restart? Did you?
No, I didn't, but I don't know why, but all of a sudden mine seems to be like we seem to be speaking about the same things at the same time. So,
well, what can you see now? I've got a crowd shot.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still going into turn 6 and 7. So unfortunately,
did you try restarting?
I did try, but no, I'm on that crowd shot now. So,
are you watching on a phone or something?
No, I've got it on my TV.
Oh yeah,
or on my Xbox. So.
That's it's a shame, really, because I mean that start. I feel like I spoiled it for you, but I can only give my instant reaction.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I kind of expected this to happen anyway. I didn't expect us to be at the exact same point. But
has a penalty. Max Verstappen has a 10-second penalty.
Brilliant.
Wow. He won't care. He won't care the slightest.
So I don't understand why Max is sticking his nose in there.
I mean, I was just super unlucky. I was all the way up the inside before the crash. You were not! You were not all the way up on the inside. Oh, my God.
Oscar was ahead at the apex by miles.
There's no way that Max believes that.
No.
His front right didn't even get past Piastri's front left. Honestly.
And Carlos Sainz not really having a great start here, but what's he done to... I mean, he's literally...
Max isn't even in the shot! Max isn't even in the shot, and he said he was all the way up alongside. Yep, move of a world champion that way. Oh, Oscar. Love it, you. Woking! Shout out, Woking. Wow. Yeah, that Haas move there on... it was... Oh, no, that one was Perez, because he ended up spinning. Yeah, that was a great move by Magnussen. That's an unbelievable move.
Yeah, no, it would be.
Wow, that's how he made up all them places.
What, from that incident? Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, mate, that's incredible.
What I tell you what, we've been wanting some racing especially last year. Yeah. We really wanted some racing, is
this where Bottas? Bottas penalty as well. 10 seconds for Bottas for causing a collision with Perez.
Do you reckon it'll be similar to Raikkonen in 2021, where they just decided to retire the car in the end? Do you reckon that'll be the same with Bottas?
I don't know.
Obviously, same team.
What's next? A 10-second time penalty. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Well, listen, it's it's working out for my boys in Woking. It's
And
going to be my
Leclerc's now made the move.
in my lifetime, first time my hometown team pulls back the Constructors Championship. It's a big deal. That can I just also
Leclerc and
can I also just make a
Leclerc
point?
and Magnussen down the straight, very, very good.
I know the race is normally dusk till night, right? I know it is, but does this not feel like it started really bright?
Yeah, no, I feel like as the race goes on, though. I mean, obviously we're only on lap 7 of
I
58
know,
at the
of course,
moment.
by lap 58 it'll be pitch black with the lamps. I know, but like this, it doesn't feel like dusk. It still feels like daylight. I mean, that's
Yeah, no,
doesn't feel
no,
like
it's
Abu Dhabi, does it?
no, but yeah, no, incredible start to the race. I mean, absolutely. Well, there's action bloody everywhere, and I mean, there's drivers everywhere. I mean, there's not one set of teammates that are in the exact same position, which it feels
No.
like we haven't seen that for a very long time.
Can I actually also just say I have no idea how I totally missed this, but everyone I imagine would have started on mediums. Hamilton's on the hards.
Oh,
I can't believe I didn't realise that.
interesting point.
No wonder he's barely been able to make up positions.
But he is going to get DRS from Lawson down that back straight. So
But it might just become a DRS train.
yeah, it could do. Because Max is now obviously closing in on Magnussen as well.
Leclerc up to 7th. Wow. We haven't got a
He's
fastest
really,
lap.
he's Leclerc.
Why has no one set a fastest lap?
Well, they would have, but it's just not been
It's not
put
showing
on
the
yet, is it?
purple thing.
So yeah, no, very, very interesting start. I mean, Hulkenberg and Magnussen are doing very well. Alonso, I don't know how he's up to 6th. And then yeah, Verstappen seems to be really on the charge at the minute.
He said yesterday, didn't he, Alonso, worst car ever?
Yeah, very, very interesting. But
Very reminiscent of GP2 engine.
I think it's going to be a very interesting season for Aston Martin next year. Obviously, they've got Adrian Newey coming later on in the season. So by 2026, when the regs change, I think it's going to be a bad year for Aston Martin, purely based off the fact of I think they're just going to be purely gunning for 2026.
Did you say that?
So I think Alonso is going to be complaining a lot next year.
You say that, but I'm in the opposite boat. I'm in the boat of, so Adrian Newey will not have much of a say on the car, but he will still be able to give bits of advice throughout the year. So despite the fact the priority will be on 26, look, the second he left this year, that is when the Red Bull started to decline. Whether he had anything to do with it or not, it declined. Oscar Piastri penalty. 10 seconds for Oscar Piastri. His collision with Colapinto, causing his puncture.
Yes, no, I think that's valid. I don't think you can argue that one.
There, yeah. I think as well, go back to my point, Aston Martin, Newey will be able to just like say one or two little bits of information, but basically put it this way: I do see an Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso on a podium next year. Not a champion. They're not a championship fighting team. But I will get a podium or two next year for sure. Newey will be able to just have, even if it's like towards the back end or the mid part of the season. I know 2026 is the priority. I know that, and I know he doesn't come in straight away, and he has nothing to do with the car as of now and anything like that. Oh, speaking of Alonso, he's just gone wide, but I do think that it can happen for sure.
No, it's going to be an interesting season next year because I think I've been speaking to Zach Brown about this across the weekend. They don't know whether they're going to be pushing for
Leclerc P6
the championship next year or whether they're going to be building for 2026. It's one of those years that it's very hard to kind of like attribute like one whole like push towards one whole department, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like I don't think any team can really just sit there and go, oh yeah, we're going to fully dedicate to this year, because then 2026 in the new regs you're not going to have any pace. So
I love how
but then you don't really.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I love how when they show the constructors table, like the live standings, they're showing the top four. Third and fourth are relevant.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything.
You don't need to show Red Bull and Mercedes.
No.
But one thing that could be interesting, I mean, Max is absolutely flying at the moment. One thing that could be interesting is when Max and George inevitably reach each other on track. That'll really that'll. I think that could end in a bit of a bad apples, to say the least. I think it could maybe spark a little bit of something. So
I love how all the drivers are just not taking it serious. With the dinner, they said saved you a seat, George, and it was next to Max. And then with the GDPA drivers photo, they're right next to each other. Good stuff. And Franco Colapinto saying on the live stage, everyone just wants to know about Max and George.
yeah. What do you make of Lando Norris's comment about it? By the way, obviously on the I think it was the Thursday or the Friday, he said, "Oh, I want them to carry on fighting. It's just funny." What do you make of that?
He knows more of it than we do in the sense of like both of them are his friends. He'll be able to speak, but of course he doesn't want to get involved in. He doesn't want to have a side, let's say, because it will affect his reputation, and he's still friends with both of them. But it is also, I'd much rather say I'm staying out of it, no comment, than trying to like make a joke of it. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same fence as
Two of
you.
my friends were in an argument. I wouldn't be making a joke of it because both would have valid reasons for whatever their point is or whatever. So I would just say, no, I'm staying out of it. It's for you two to get to the bottom of it. I wouldn't try and make a joke of it, if I'm being honest. But everyone's different.
Yeah. No, I take the same standpoint as you. I think trying to make a joke of it is kind of a bit like, I get you trying to lighten the mood around the paddock, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Can't be an overtake if he's still 12. Or does he come? Where is he 12th then? That has to have been ages ago. Oh no, because the V carb got him. Oh, for goodness sake! The V carb got him back. Why is he on the hards for, man? Every dream needs a team. Do you know what? That's really annoyed me. I'm glad Nico Rosberg came out about it. It's every dream needs a team. Like, why are they trying to make it so badly about them? It's his.
Yeah, I think I get it was. I get it's kind of like been a team effort for Lewis and Mercedes these past 12 years.
A team effort, absolutely. It's been a team effort, but like they're just trying to really make it about them. I mean, I loved their video about how his engagement with the team has inspired so many young people and the amount of diversity people have gone through, and that Lewis has helped them out. That was an unbelievable. That was a beautiful video. But yeah.
Also, another video which I think.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think a designer that Mercedes were in contact with about the whole end of season thing, they pitched this idea and he said we don't like it, and they've gone with it anyway.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I have seen that, but yeah. On the topic of Lewis, him saying I've got no pace. I mean, just it's not nice to see, is it? It's really not.
Slow pit stop for the Haas. Kevin Magnussen. No, that's fine. That's not unsafe release. That will be fine. When I was younger, I was always so obsessed with the Abu Dhabi pit lane exit.
Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely. It's so unique. But yeah, no, really, really good. You mentioned about not being an unsafe release, but it's a very, very slow pit stop for the Haas.
For the Haas, yeah.
7.2 for Magnussen. That is not ideal. But so strategy wise, is it a two-stopper today or is it a one-stop?
Well, it's hard's really going to go to the end if we're boxing now. I don't know. I'd say a two-stop.
Yeah, I think it'll be
I'm no Bernie Collins.
No, I think it has to be a medium hard medium job, or maybe a medium hard long stint and then a soft.
Yeah.
So no, it's all in that kind of region of the race now where cars are going to be contemplating coming into the pits, but they're not actually going to be going to do it yet. So it's going to be, you're going to see a
Each
lot of
lap is
changes, I
crucial.
think, in the next few laps.
Each lap is crucial. The longer you
As
stay out is crucial because not only, potentially do you lose time to those who have come in and come back out, but also the tyres that you do put on will be fresher tyres than those who have already boxed. So does it balance itself out? We have to wait to see. So Hulkenberg down to 11th. Everyone has pitted from 11th down to 19th. Obviously, Perez is out. The top 10 have yet to pit. But obviously,
very good stop for
that's
Hulkenberg as
not a
well.
net. That's not a net top 10 because you've got like Doohan who's in 10th at the minute when he's actually not.
Yeah.
Russell,
But yeah, obviously only one driver now separating Max Verstappen and George Russell. This could be interesting in the next few laps, to say the least.
can I just make a quick point? My England flag behind me is actually there because when I moved in, the previous person had left like blue tack everywhere, and it was disgusting. I was like, what? I couldn't get rid of it, so I needed something big enough to cover up this entire wall full of blue tack. It's like everywhere. You'd think it'd be like in corners, but it's literally everywhere. So that's why I've got a great big massive England flag. I'm not claiming to be some like EDL member or something.
Yeah, mine are just, Brighton posters. So
Yeah.
Gasly pits. Tell you what, Gasly's had a really good first stint.
Can you see the flags? Can you see the flags flying?
Not at the moment.
Did you see?
I will be able to in a minute.
It was in like the top. It was in the very top. You might have missed it now. It wasn't like on the centre of the screen. It was at the top. I just noticed it.
Oh yeah. No. I could see.
They have it in order of Grand Prix because I just saw Brazil, Qatar, Abu Dhabi.
Yes. No, I have just seen that. Yeah. So one thing that I always find really interesting is obviously whatever racetrack you go to, or the majority of racetracks you go to, there's always a big flag of the country that's there. And I'm always fascinated of how big these flags actually are. Because obviously, we know that with COTA, they have a massive American flag, but also a massive Texan flag as well. So could be really, I don't actually know how big they are. So if people know, let us know how big the flags are, because I bet that would make a very good blanket.
I'm yawning quite a bit. It's nothing to do with this race, I promise. It's just that I've done Poland and Hungary back to back in the same week.
How was your holidays? Did you see Robert Kubica when you were in Poland?
Well, first and foremost, not to correct you, Ollie, but I don't call these holidays. They are not holidays. Holidays are relaxing, sit by the pool, margarita in hand. These are hardcore 45,000 steps a day trips. That's what these are. There is not a second to stand, sit around. My calf on the way back to the airport from Budapest, oh my God, it was so tight. It was just like I could barely even move my leg. I was doing stretches on like the metro and everything. It was ridiculous because it was a mixture of so much walking around all day and how cold it was. It's like it just tensed up. But no, it was a very beautiful, very beautiful. I'd say Krakow is a really beautiful, peaceful town. I know it's a city, but it's not the main thing is it's not the capital. Warsaw's the capital, so it's quite more relaxing and peaceful. And I'd say nice during the day. Budapest comes to life at night. So beautiful at night, Budapest.
All right.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Definitely recommend.
Yeah, no, I've never been to that area of the world, so yeah, would certainly be a good experience, I feel.
It is amazing. I definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend it.
Oh, Gasly and Sonoda. Wow, that was close. Right, I'm going to attempt at restarting my Sky Go again. So keep me up to date, Mr. Parker, with anything that happens.
Red flag. No, I'm joking. I mean, if you did just tune in now and you had no idea what's going on, the first thing you'd probably see is Perez out, and you just laugh. Then you'd maybe go. You'd see Piastri 13th, and you'd probably think, oh, well, it's clearly just a pit stop, but it's not.
No,
You'd see doing 10th, and you'd be like, oh, wow, go on, Jack. But he's not actually 10th.
no.
And what else could you potentially see?
But Leclerc.
Yeah, Leclerc up to 4th. Yeah, definitely.
So, oh no, it's certainly been a exciting race. Now, I have a feeling that it could be a
Oh, Sonoda on Gasly. This is not good for Gas. Has Sonoda boxed yet?
no.
Have. So this is really affecting Gasly's race. Yeah, Gasly did not need that. He's got back past, but he did not need that. We should also mention about FP1 and about both Leclerc brothers being the first ever brothers to take part in a Formula One session
For the same team,
for the same team. Yeah,
not just
Lel,
in general, but yeah.
Lek and Lel. I'm surprised you didn't mention Luke Browning.
Yeah, no, Luke Browning getting a promotion, or not promotion, but getting a drive in FP1. Really, really good for him. Obviously, a young British driver is now driven in all 3 of the top formulas this season. Obviously, he started off in Formula 3, season finished in Monza, and then ever since he's been driving in Formula 2. So yeah, really good to see him racing this season and getting a lot of minutes in higher up machinery. I did in fact see him a few years ago, I think, when he was driving in GB4 for around Brands Hatch. So, and he absolutely dominated that weekend. So he's always one that I like keeping an eye on. So yeah,
Not to be cruel here, because there's a special weekend for him, and you know, as a fellow Britishman, it's great to see talent coming through. But just to play devil's advocate here, is it safe to say that he only got this FP1 session because Colapinto couldn't be considered a rookie for it anymore?
Yeah, probably. I would think so, but I think as well he deserves it. I mean, going from being in Formula 3 to get the promotion to Formula 2, I mean, it's probably a matter of he's got a lot of backing behind him as well. But I mean, obviously, we saw Zach O'Sullivan getting a run out in a Williams car. Obviously, he's not in the Formula 2 Championship anymore because he doesn't have the funds to carry on going, unfortunately. So yeah, no, I think it could be down to funding as well. But no, I think Luke definitely deserves it. He definitely has the talent to be performing at a higher stage. And yeah, no, to get an experience in a Formula One car, I mean, it must be absolutely fantastic for him. So
absolutely, yeah. I can't believe Martin Brundle has driven 70 different F1 cars.
yeah, no, it's crazy. Oh, we've got to talk about that film of Lewis and Martin driving on track together. It was honestly fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, you could tell Lewis absolutely loved driving that 2014 car.
2013, wasn't it?
Yes, it might have been, yeah.
His first Mercedes car, yeah.
So, and it's unfortunate that he doesn't have that smile coming into actual race weekends.
Well, I'll tell you what, I slammed the hard tyre, but he is up to 6th, and he won't have to pit. I don't know how long the hard tyres last, but he obviously gets to go extra pit window longer than those who started on the mediums. Is a podium in the question?
I mean, potentially. I mean, by the looks of other drivers going from medium to hard, I mean, obviously we don't know how long these hards are going to last for, so people are probably going to be looking at Lewis for reference points. But if he can nurse these tyres to a 1-stop when others might be looking at doing a 2, that could be...
Yeah.
That could be...
penalties? Who got penalties again? Verstappen, Piastri, there was a third, wasn't there?
Bottas,
yeah. So Bottas and Piastri have already served theirs. So Verstappen hasn't served his. So that would put Hamilton in 5th. Hang on a minute. Got to think about Gasly and Hulkenberg still to come back through.
We do indeed.
Sonoda. We missed that completely. He did a Hajar. He lost
the car. Really?
Wow, we missed that.
Here we go. I'm just getting the live replay of it. Oh yeah, I did think at the start of the race there was someone going very slowly at the back. So
Is
it must.
this is the Ferrari coming into box? Surely it's got to be Sainz. They've got to prioritise front runner. No, you can't undercut. Oh, it's Leclerc. Wow. Oh, they're sabotaging Sainz on his final race.
I really hope not. I really, really hope not. But Lando's doing all that he needs to do out front at the moment.
Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this Antonelli Sainz swap then? Because
Go on.
this would be, if you're Antonelli, how would you be feeling? And also, by the way, if you're James Vowles, how would you be feeling? Because he's talked the talk so highly on Sainz that it would just be a bit embarrassing, really.
Yeah, no, it's I don't really know. That's the thing. I don't want to look too much into it because there's only one account on Twitter that I've seen mention it. But it is, if it is true, then that could be something really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for Antonelli, I think he won't mind it, and I think it'll be more of a thing of I've got an F1 drive at the age of. I mean, at the time he'll still be 17, so or 18. I'm not 100% sure.
18.
18, yeah. So I think for him, it's like any kind of drive at this point would work well because he knows that in the future he will be getting that Mercedes drive. Obviously, for James Vowles, it might not be as good because he's probably looking at that team he's got at the minute of Albon and Sainz, thinking, "I've got a good little team here."
Yeah.
And then to put Kimi Antonelli in, don't get me wrong, Antonelli I think is a fantastic driver, and I'm going to be rooting for him next year. But yeah, I think where Williams are, you kind of want to go down the route that Haas have gone with, where you pick more experienced drivers to take you up, earn you more money. Obviously, it does come with a cost of less wind tunnel time. The higher up you finish in the constructors, but getting a bigger prize fund will do Williams absolute wonders, as it's been reported quite heavily with how much they've struggled financially, especially over the past decade. So
there's no way they're not going to be over the budget cap, surely. They've had 16 crashes this year.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's not a nice thing to think that they could be, but
when I saw Luke Browning getting into the cockpit of the Williams, I did think it was Logan Sargent at first. I thought, oh my word.
Yeah, the miraculous return.
So let's actually talk about. So Sargent what's he doing next year? I just saw him announced for something.
So he's going to be driving an IndyCar for Prema, who are obviously Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3, and then Italian Formula and Formula Regional. So they're basically like
that's confirmed, is it?
A hub of young drivers. Yeah, Prema are officially a team next year, so they weren't a team this year. It'll be their first year in IndyCar.
Okay, and K-Mag, BMW.
Yeah, K-Mag's going to be racing at BMW in the World Endurance Championship. So that could be really, really interesting. Obviously, I think they were mentioning in the pre-race show that he had driven in WEC before.
That's Series WEC.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so will be very...
Where can you watch that sort of stuff?
Eurosport, I believe, yeah. So, or if not, I think they might stream it on their YouTube channel, but I'm not 100% sure. I think your best bet would be Eurosport. So,
and who else is in there? You've got Mick Schumacher for Alpine.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the other names. I think you've got Giovinazzi.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of who I watched at Le Mans. But, I mean, there's so many drivers there that they all just slip through your head. Sebastian Buemi, Kamui Kobayashi.
Throwback names, these.
Yeah, I know. It's basically like, I don't want to say like a retirement hub for F1 drivers, but it's kind of like a place for if F1 drivers aren't getting a place on the grid, then it's a place for them to kind of go and boost their profile and go and race.
Here's a question: if Bottas does go to Mercedes, do you think he could actually get a race at any point next year? Antonelli pulled out through illness this weekend. He's still young. He might not maybe be able to do all 24 races.
I don't know. I think something rather miraculous would have to happen. But if it does, then I don't see why they wouldn't put him in there.
What would you do though if like Bottas come in for a weekend and just put it like on the podium?
Yeah, no, it will put you in a certain sticky situation, wouldn't it? So it would.
You know what? As well, I think Bottas finally is really getting. Despite the fact he's got a pointless season, I think he really got the respect that he deserved this season by how bad Perez performed.
Yeah,
Just to show how good he was in that second Mercedes car. Never missed a Q3 appearance, 10 Grand Prix wins. He was a good team. And when people would say, oh, yeah, but Lewis, it was Bottas was a team. Well, look who Verstappen's teammates been. Perez has had more Q1 exits this year than Alonso. And I know you might think, yeah, well, Alonso is sitting best the rest of the championship, but the Aston Martin has been dog the past however long now.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's. I think I hate using it is a
Leclerc is past Gasly.
It is a term that you have to use, but saying that Bottas has had a pointless season, it's kind of like it is pointless because obviously he has got 0 points. But saying, "Oh, he's had a pointless season," almost sounds as if you're saying, "Oh, what was the point of him racing this season?"
I did see him. I don't know if again you can never trust certain things, but I did see something on Twitter this morning, supposing that he had said he wishes he never moved to Sauber.
I've also seen that,
But I can't imagine Valtteri saying something like that. But
no,
he is also in a mood at the minute of he doesn't really care anymore.
yeah. Did you just see that Liam Lawson radio message? By the way,
No, I did not.
he said that the wheels weren't on.
Oh dear.
And if that's the case, then we could be seeing a safety car rather soon, unless he pits.
Well, I mean, he's coming back round to the pits now. Is he going to go in? Sorry, I'm just trying to get my. Is he boxing? He is boxing.
There you go. Oh dear. I mean, RB have this whole fight between RB, Haas, and Alpine has really just ended up being a fight between Haas and Alpine. RB haven't really been able to capitalise on anything at the back end of this season. I mean, the way that Alpine have started the season compared to how they're doing now is absolutely phenomenal. I mean,
so true.
In pre-season testing, and in our first thing, I said, "Oh yeah, Alpine are not going to get a point this season," and the developments that they've made have been fantastic. But then you look at the developments that RB have tried to make, Haas have tried to make, and Aston Martin have tried to make. Instead of being upgrades, they've all been downgrades. So it really shows that the work that Alpine have been putting in is really, really working. So I'm excited to see what they do next year, actually.
Is that George or was that Lewis? Oh, it's George. Where's Lewis? Where is Lewis? Oh, he's there. Okay.
Lewis P5 still.
So Sainz has come up behind Russell. But wow, I did not realise how big of a gap Norris and Sainz must have pulled because Sainz only just come out behind Russell and Sainz just pitted. Oh, Lawson. Yeah, no, that wasn't good.
The way that the track, especially with the new layouts, the way that the track ebbs and flows is actually it's a lot nicer than how it used to be. Let's just put it that way.
Oh yeah, that front left was not on.
I mean, he's done very well then to get back round the.
Lando's coming in.
Yeah, he's done very well to get back round the track with one wheel pretty much off.
Russell, box.
Wow. But yeah, no, I mean, it's been an absolutely brilliant season. I mean, I don't think we'll look back on it and go, oh, what an amazing... I don't think many people look back on it and go, oh my God, that was such a great season, purely because Max won it with 2 rounds to go. And I think that kind of takes away the kind of feeling of, oh my God, it was a season that went right to the end. But it has been a season that's gone right to the end for so many different factors. And I mean, the fact that you've got so many new drivers coming in next year. I mean, the timing tower on the left next year is going to take a while to get used to because we're going to have so many new names on it.
Yeah. Do you reckon as well for 2026 they'll rebrand it because they'll have 22? Like normally Sky and F1, they changed, didn't they?
Because do you remember when it was literally just there was a little line on the side, which was the colour of the car,
Yeah.
which always made it quite confusing, especially between like Red Bull and Toro Rosso at the time.
My favourite one was like the 2018 years. That sort of font that they had,
Mm.
like in Germany. That sort of as a thought. Right, what have we got here? Russell chasing down Gasly.
So that's no different to how it was
Oh, Russell,
before.
I thought you would have dive bombed that. I'm surprised you didn't go for it. Maybe it's fresh tyres. Don't know.
But yeah, no, there's now 32 laps left to go in the race,
Oh,
and
that's one.
it's been a good one. It has been a very, very good one.
Russell's now past Gasly. Okay. So, I think what we got to talk about here is the fact Verstappen has still got these medium tyres on, and he's done. Colapinto box to retire the car. Do you know what? With Colapinto, it's such a shame. When he came in, I was such an advocate for him to have a seat. I am now in the position of no, he doesn't deserve one next year. In the end, I don't know if it got too much for him. He obviously smashed the car up quite a bit. So I'm not too disheartened that he's not in it next year. I would like to see him back for sure. He's a great character, and he definitely has got a lot of potential. But no, it was great. It's a shame though, the last race come like this.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So Finney's just asked me a question. Do you think Alpine purposely took Ocon out of the car purely because how close the fight for sixth is? Because Ocon could have quite easily self-sabotaged and said, "Oh yeah, the car's got no pace," and then really, really underperform. Because I mean, you look at
I doubt it. I doubt it as a sportsman. I doubt it. But Alpine and the way they treated him, it might have been a thought that went through their mind. Oh, he could do this, or maybe I don't know. But it's a good.
I think it could certainly be a factor that came into play because I mean, how close it actually is. I mean, sixth and seventh is actually closer than first and second. So, yeah. But did you also see, by the way, that coming into Lewis's final race at Mercedes, him and George in their time together are on the exact same points. So it's going to be interesting to see.
And in those 3 years, Lewis has been the one that's doing all the trial and error parts, and Russell had the better car all 3 years. So that just shows you who my guy is. Now, do you know what I like George Russell? I think he gets a lot of disrespect. I really do like George. He's I think. Do you know what? When it's all said and done with Lewis, and the sad time comes for him to go, I think I will be rooting for George. I think he will become my new driver. Obviously, not to the same extent of Lewis, but I do think that I got a lot of respect and time for George, and I'm a big fan of him coming out as well and saying, actually standing his ground against someone like Verstappen because no one's ever done that before. So apart from Lewis, so I am a big fan of that. I am a big fan of that.
I think.
But there's so many drivers on this grid that I wish, that I think I'd call it time. I'd call it time on Bottas. I don't want to, but I would. I'd call it time on Stroll for sure. I'd call it time on Alonso. I think it's overdue now, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone more Grand Prix since his last win than Grand Prix he's done. So I saw something earlier on that was like the last time Alonso won, we were still listening to Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Well, it would have been. It would have been 2013 Valencia. Yeah.
So imagine him on that podium that day. What do you think he would find more bizarre? The fact that was going to be his last win, or the fact that he'd still be racing in 11 years?
The fact that was his last win. I think you look at I mean, him going to McLaren.
Max is in that front jack. That's not touching the car, is it? Because you're not allowed to. No, it wasn't touching. But
do you remember earlier on this year with Danny Rick when he had a time penalty, but one of his mechanics touched the car.
Yeah.
And literally his mechanic straight away when he touched the wheel was like, "Oh, for goodness sake!" And they still done the 5 seconds anyway. So, oh my, that was yeah.
So Verstappen is into 11th. So Hamilton third, and I think if my maths are correct, Hamilton's the only person remaining not to have pitted.
Yes. Ooh, one thing that is interesting to see is Sainz has caught up quite nicely
Could we
to
ask
Lando
20
Norris.
stupid idiots? Who's Verstappen referring that to?
I will. I'm sure that will come up on my screen in a second, and I
Who
will
is Verstappen referring to there then?
wait. Wait for me. Wait for me to. Oh, here we go. Could we ask for 20 seconds? I think he might be. Well, from my point of view, he would be referring to the FIA. So, and
He has had enough, hasn't he?
Lawson's in again. For what reason?
Yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag. Oh, green. Oh. What did I just see there? So it's a Sauber. Sauber's got a puncture. Front right. Who is it? Is it Bottas? Oh, no. Valtteri. Front right puncture.
And then that's a puncher for Kevin as well.
How do you know?
You could see the rear left.
That was Bottas's car, no?
Yeah, no, but yeah, Kevin has also got a puncher as well.
Oh, that's why. That is why. They've collided.
Yeah.
That is why. Oh, no. That's on Valtteri. That's on Valtteri, I feel. But to be fair, K-Mag looked like he was going into that corner faster than he should have been, or... No, that's on
Valtteri. Yeah, a double front lock into turn 6.
And that's why neither of you are in Formula 1 next year, I'm afraid.
Yeah, off the racing line. Cool,
that's a nasty one, isn't it? Valtteri's got to be out because that's broken suspension, isn't it? Or was it just?
I was going to say, surely that's got to be a broken wishbone.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot of the night. To be fair, the dusk. It's getting darker now. You can see the lights flashing on the cars. Come on, Lewis. This is a drive. I think we need a safety car. Can we get a safety car for the debris, please?
I wouldn't. Surely, after what happened,
Magnussen's on softs.
Surely, what happened? Max is on softs. Did you say?
No. Magnussen's on softs. Why has Magnussen gone onto softs for? And Bottas is only changing his front wheel. No, you can't. No, you can't replace that. They've been hanging off. So Bottas is out.
That's disappointing. That's
a shame. I really hope they don't have to. I have to look at that livery ever again, though.
No, that is one horrific livery. Yeah, you can see. Look, I know you're obviously miles ahead of me, but yeah, one of the wishbones on the bottom. I don't know if you noticed this, but it snapped on Valtteri's car.
Off, yeah. I don't know why Magnussen's gone to softs. That's really bizarre. There's no way he's going to get softs to what? 42, 52. There's 27 laps to go. 20. Yeah, 27 laps. That's bizarre.
I can only imagine that. I don't even know. That's a really, really odd decision from Haas.
Is that like the only set that he had left?
I don't. Piastri back up into the points, by the way.
But unserved penalty. What? How can he have not served his penalty? He had a pit stop.
Who's this we're talking about?
Piastri's going to serve his penalty now. He's boxing. How did he not get it until after his pit stop then? Oh no, didn't know that. See, I didn't have the volume. I haven't got the volume, so I don't know. So now he's serving his penalty.
Is that another 10 seconds on top of the penalty that he's already got?
No. I think he must have ended up getting this penalty. He must have already pitted first.
Oh.
Because you can't have a pit stop without serving it, surely. Unless you can, and then they just add it on at the end. But I don't think you could do that. I don't know.
I always find it really interesting how close their hands all are to the car.
Yeah.
As they're waiting for a penalty to...
Yeah. I think driver of the day, early doors. I mean,
it can only be one man, Ben. Come on, it can only be one man. We know who it is.
Yeah, no, of course. And if this is going to work out, then absolutely. But for now, I'm going to give it to Gasly.
Yeah, no, Gasly's been
Could that be commentator's curse?
or Charles Leclerc.
Actually, it's also a very good point. Yes, very good point.
Because I mean, Leclerc has kit,
Magnussen
hasn't
setting
he?
fast laps.
I think he's just out there to have fun at this point.
Yeah.
But I also saw one thing. So this is probably again, it's only a rumor. Oh my god, Leclerc's times on Lewis are rather fast. Lap 29, 30, 31 and 32 are all around a second a lap faster.
Leclerc's race start.
But no, I did see one thing apparently saying that some of the teams went to the FIA saying that they were afraid with. See, I think this could be just an absolute joke that someone's made up on Twitter, but they said that teams are afraid of Magnussen not having any penalty points, so that he could be a bit reckless today, and they went to the FIA saying that.
That's not real.
But I think someone's having us on. So Leclerc's done absolutely fantastically there from the start, overtaking Lewis around the outside at the hairpin as well. And is that and then obviously all the stuff that happened with Perez and Bottas. Bottas has really been in the wars today, hasn't he? Bless him. I mean, that's 2 incidents now that he's been involved in. Yeah, not been great, but this is a beautiful performance so far from Charles Leclerc. I mean, obviously I wouldn't say it's any of the drivers' favourite track, to be honest. I don't think any of them like absolutely love coming here. But Leclerc has a history of doing quite well around Abu Dhabi. Obviously, 2017 in Formula 2, obviously he had a fantastic last race of the season battle for the championship. And he's doing really, really well here today. So be interesting to see where Lewis comes out, though.
Ahead of the Aston Martin and Verstappen. Good. But the Aston's now just going to have DRS.
And it's Alonso.
Let's fight to the end for me. Get that podium. Come on.
Yeah, because if Lewis can get a podium, that'll be such an amazing way to go out.
Right, that's it. Now push on.
This is where, for any listeners / viewers, this is where Ben's true fanboy of Lewis Hamilton will come out when he's fighting for podium positions and trying to close up the gap to the rest of the field. Ben is really going to be loving this.
Listen, if he can pull this off now.
And Brighton start in 2 minutes. So fingers crossed it's a good day all round, but who knows?
And the NFL is on tonight. Yeah, the Magnussen soft tyre has really confused me. But there you go.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very strange decision. I mean, So
what's that? 13. Ferrari got it down to 13 points at the minute. All it takes is for Norris. Sainz is only 3 seconds off of Norris.
He has been. He got it down to just under 2 seconds at one point during the race, but I think it could still be very, very
his path Alonso
tight. Oh God. Not Max and Lewis at Abu Dhabi again.
Do you know what really angers me, Ollie? Is
Go
when
on.
the Formula 1 official account posts 2021 Abu Dhabi content, like Perez held up, like just the whole race. If I was like part of Formula 1, I'd try as much, even though you can't, no one's ever going to. I try and avoid it as though it never happened. Like, so I wouldn't be posting highlights of it. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
That's the thing. I think
2021 season, when they refer to Verstappen won his championship, fine. I mean, I clearly don't believe it, but when you look at his season, he still had a really good season, right? And you can post his wins that he had throughout the year, of course, but just Abu Dhabi in particular, and then they post when Max crossed the line and it's Horner, you are a Welsh, like, avoid it. You should be embarrassed to post any of this content.
I think that's coming from a Lewis Hamilton fan. I think that
No,
is
it's coming from a Formula One fan. Even people in the media have come out and still talk about it now. Crofty the other day spoke about it, saying that on the night Hamilton deserved that championship. Rosberg came out the other day and said we're never going to stop talking about it. It was wrong.
I just want to quickly moving on to something else that happened before the race as well. It was quite interesting.
You're like the FIA trying to move on quickly from it.
Yeah, it did make me laugh quite a lot. But did you see Ted in the Apex GP garage speaking to Brad Pitt?
How good is that he knew who he was?
Absolutely brilliant. But what I really like about it is obviously we've said so many times on this podcast that we hate it, the fact that you get some celebrities come onto the grid and all they do the whole time is just go like, oh yeah, it's just so great to be here. It's my first race, la da 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 da. But Brad Pitt seems to absolutely love Formula One.
Well, I think he probably had to learn a lot of it for the role, but no, I definitely agree. I like the fact that he's done more research than maybe he needed to. Like the fact that he knows who Ted Kravitz is, like that. I do love that.
I think the fact as well is that maybe he didn't enjoy it before, but the fact he's kind of been thrown into the position where he has to enjoy it, he now actually does. And I have a feeling that this.
I think that would be like anyone, Ollie. I don't think you can sit someone down and get them to watch Formula One and then turn around and go, I still don't like it. Like maybe if you shut them down for one like race and it was a boring race, then they could go, yeah, I don't see the. But if you're in it, if you're driving the cars, or if you're going to museums, or if you're learning about the history, and you were to still turn around and go, just not for me, I don't think that's possible. I really don't.
No, but no, I think we'll see Brad Pitt's face around the Formula One paddock a lot more. Even when the film's been and gone, I think there's going to be a lot more of Brad Pitt in and around Formula One, because I think like how in depth he spoke about things, and when he was mentioning about sitting in the cockpit and speaking to Lewis about it, and he seemed to know a lot about the car. Yeah. Saying, "Oh, it's a Mecha Chrome." I think he was saying.
I found it really interesting as well about how other teams apparently might adopt their usage of an electric car for pit stop practice.
Oh.
Because they use an electric car for pit stop practice, and other cars have said we're thinking about potentially doing that as well.
That's the thing. I think it's going to be. I'm not sure on the movie as a whole. I like the idea of it, but I'm not sure how good it's actually going to turn out to be.
I think it will be quite. I do think it will be a really good.
But I think
like 2 days after my birthday.
How they've made it is a really, really special film. Like we've not really seen anything like this since I think it's like the 60s or the 70s when they used to make films when they were driving actual Formula One cars.
It'll be Rush, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but even Rush, they weren't using like the actual cars, were they?
No, I suppose.
So I mean, obviously, this isn't their one isn't an actual Formula One car; it's a Formula 2 car with specially modified parts to it. But still, it's kind of I think the fact that they're there on race weekends and the fact that they're there actually like going.
There'll be quite a lot of it that doesn't make sense though to the time it comes out. Like if it's Steiner on the pit wall or someone driving who no longer drives in Formula One, but still it will be amazing for sure.
Yeah, no, I think it'll always be like that though. No matter what kind of sporting film that you make, I think it's always going to be like that. But I think
new tyres if you stayed out.
I think one thing that will be quite funny though to see throughout the film is going to be like the little cameos that I'd imagine there are going to be cameos that each and every driver does. So I think it's going to be quite funny if there's like a cameo of like, because it's Sonny Hayes. Is it Sonny Hayes, the name of the character? Yeah. When he goes up and starts like speaking, he's got to be speaking to one of the drivers at some point during the film. So I think it'll be quite funny if he's just standing there speaking to Lewis at one point. So because I think Lewis has had quite a big involvement, if I'm right in saying, with the making of the film. So no, I'm really excited to see it. And I mean the fact of how much media attention it's drawn to F1 yet again. I mean it's probably doing wonders for the influx of money coming into the sport. So. And another thing to note that is also back this weekend is the Alpig. The Alpig is back. The pink Alpine is back. Obviously, because
Yeah,
of BWT and their sponsorship deal with the company. Lewis is absolutely flying on these mediums, by the way.
I've got an issue though.
Go on.
Is he actually going to be able to catch Russell? I don't think so. I think Lewis is looking at a P5.
I think that's like to go from P 16, yeah, P16 to P5. I mean, that's a fantastic final race for him.
It is, but Leclerc's gone 19th to 3rd.
Yeah. So, that's an interesting thing. Who is going to get driver of the day? Because usually it's always driver of the day is the ones like retiring and stuff like that. So, and bearing in mind this year we've got so many driver moves, but so many retirees as well.
It will be Leclerc, I think.
Yeah,
Do you ever vote?
Uh,
I'm a vote for Lewis.
Yeah. No, I think you got to give it to Leclerc. I think he's done absolutely brilliantly today. I mean, obviously there's still 18 laps to go, so anything could happen. But
I'm doing Lewis now.
What, you can already vote for driver of the day? Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna look in. Had to be really.
My absolute goat.
What have you made of the race so far, Ben?
I want something. I want a safety car pull the grid back in together. Where's Latifi when you actually need him?
Yeah. Well, Stroll is still available, so.
To be fair though, Stroll doesn't actually smash the car up as much.
No. And Colapinto isn't in, and neither is Perez.
No.
So. Yeah, I think it's now just going to unfortunately.
What's like a highlight of the season for you that stands out? Of course, the obvious one is Hamilton winning Silverstone. That will live with me forever. But like, I'm thinking niche. I'm thinking, remember that Canadian Grand Prix start where both Hasses just drove through the field on wet tyres?
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah. I remember watching that and being like, oh my God, are we going to see a Haas 1-2? But
yeah.
No, it wasn't to be. But yeah, no.
Lewis, past Gasly.
I think one moment for me, obviously it's not very niche, but Leclerc winning in Monza and Monaco. I mean, as a Ferrari driver, a Monegasque Ferrari driver, to win both of those races, I mean, aside from a world championship, that must be the one thing that you long for.
Yeah.
In Leclerc's position. So yeah, no, that was, for me, that was probably one of the. I think Hamilton winning
this raw emotion, really what felt like for the first time. I know Norris had already won in Miami, but it did feel like raw emotion.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think a lot of the drivers this season have, when they've won, like the emotion has been like very, very like, oh my God, I can't believe I've done this, rather than, yay, we've won again. Like, it's been very like, yeah, as you said, emotional. I mean, Leclerc's screams over the radio, I mean, absolutely deafening. And then also, I mean, Lewis crying in Silverstone was that is the moment of the season. That is by far the moment.
And the thing, right, genuinely, it will be very hard to get your point across. And I don't actually care enough to get it across to people. If they don't want to agree with it, they don't have to. But I don't think there could have been any better scenario. Of course, we just spoke about Leclerc and how amazing that was, but for someone who hadn't won a Grand Prix in 3 years and to win it at their home race, to break a record, to break more records, just unbelievable, man. I couldn't believe it. And special for me as well. It was the first race I've watched with my dad in like a long time. It was just so special, man.
Yeah.
So special.
But no,
I think felt like they were back, didn't it? Silverstone, Spa really felt like they were back. Didn't they win 3 in a row? Wasn't it Austria, then Silverstone?
Yes, I want to say so. Yeah.
So yeah, it was. It really felt like Mercedes, and then they just disappeared again.
It has been a miraculous season. It has been so
It has.
entertaining to watch.
It has. I'm just like this. We lose the constructors or not? Like this, yes, but it's not finished. Keep pushing. It's weird. Do I really want Ferrari to win it? Does that? Does it? Is it better for Lewis if they win, or is it better for Lewis if they don't? Because they get more tunnel testing time than McLaren, but less money. But do they really need the money? I don't know. I don't really know how it
No,
works.
I think for the sake of just winning the constructors, obviously every team wants to do that. But I think in terms of for the better drivers, I don't think Ferrari don't need the money because I mean they get the what's the cut that they get? Is it like the historical tax or like
Never
the
heard of that in my
historical
life.
bonus? So basically, when I think it was when Bernie Ecclestone first took over Formula One back in I don't know when, they signed a deal which basically meant that every year Ferrari stayed in the championship, they got a larger cut than all of the other teams
Wow.
for purely keeping their name in the sport because I think it was one year they threatened to leave the sport, so then they got given a bigger cut to keep them in the sport, and they still get that to this day, even though Liberty Media have taken over. They still get that percentage in their contract. For staying in Formula One. So I think money wise, it doesn't really matter. So I think wind tunnel testing time could be crucial for them. So I think realistically, obviously, if they're in the position if they want to win the constructors and they can win it, they're going to want to push for it because I mean it's another trophy to fill the cabinet. But I think
Talk about McLaren though. They're going to have gone from bottom of the constructors that started last year to winning it this year.
I mean you look at how McLaren were. I was going to say 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. You look at how bad McLaren were, and you look at how they are now, and oh wow. And
What he's saying, I don't know what he's saying.
who is it that's come over the radio?
It was Norris, but they didn't put text in.
Uh, but
Bad night for Piastri.
yeah, no, I mean, I think he suffered from the start, didn't he? From when Verstappen punted him off the road. So no, very very unfortunate for Oscar, but I think he's
Lewis is going to run out of laps here.
yeah, no,
13 to go. I don't. Even if he was to get George, he definitely isn't going to get Leclerc.
no, very very unfortunate, but a great way to a great battle to
Yeah,
kind
we'll
of
go
round
back
out.
to that tweet though, won't it? I guarantee you, I'll see that tweet on Twitter. Start Russell first and Hamilton 20th, and they'll finish next to each other.
Yeah, no, it always seems to be the way. So
Whoa! Oscar Piastri. Wait until that onboard comes on for you.
it is just about to cover mine, not the onboard, but he's right up Sonoda's. Oh, wow, wow,
He's
wow.
so far behind, man.
Holy
Moly.
moly, indeed. Wow, what a save.
Wow. That is what a save.
I'll tell you what, we have
All
had some
right.
absolutely fantastic saves this season.
Yeah.
Like, not just in Formula One, but across all levels of motorsport.
Verstappen in quali yesterday.
Yeah, oh, wow. I seriously thought he was going to be in the wall for a
I was on
second.
the phone to my mum and I was like, wow, mum.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
let's get back into the rhythm. I don't know what you call the rhythm, but this is the rhythm. Wow. This is the rhythm of the night.
so
Night. Oh,
oh,
yeah.
just to clock into some football. Fulham are currently beating Arsenal 1-0.
Wow. That's big.
So yeah, very very
Late
big
for
win.
that game, Fulham fan. Shout out, Jack.
But yeah, no, this the season as a whole, we have been. I think we've got what 11, 12 laps to go now. It has been such a good season to review. I mean, last season I don't know how we made the episodes as long as they were because it was such a dull season. But this year has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, even if something didn't happen on track, it felt like something was happening off the track. And I think we have been really, really treated to.
Let's have a little predictions league update. Realistically, I win as it stands because
I
I've
think
got
we do.
Norris and Sainz, and if Hamilton gets Russell, I've also got Russell. That'll give me 3 points. They'll give me a 4-point lead. I win. Oh, how did I totally forget about this? This is big. This is big because I've got the top 2 as it stands. And Will, I think, well, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, because he went for a Piastri win. Ah.
Still 11 laps to go.
Yeah, don't want to go too early, Ben. Don't want to go too early.
I don't want to go too early. I do not want to go too early.
But here we go.
What I will say though is it has been a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, it has been brilliant. I mean, even when the racing hasn't been great, the predictions legal has always been there, and the FIA have always been there to give us a little bit of action off the track. Because I mean, what's your verdict on how Mohammed Ben Sulayem and the FIA have handled this season?
I don't even really want to give it the time of day. When the drivers are coming out and saying something about it, then you know what they're doing is wrong. And when he's then coming out and just playing victim, it just doesn't. It's just not. It's just so silly and childish and just like there's so much wrong that needs to be fixed, and they don't really seem to be listening to those who it matters to most, which is the drivers. But yeah, there you go.
No, they've handled it so poorly, especially Mohammed bin Sulayem, and the amount of people that have been sacked off, and the amount of people that have been like just let go, and the amount of people that have actually left on their own merit is just it just makes the sport like a bit of a laughing stock.
Yeah,
and it's really, really not on. Like it's probably been the most poorly officiated season that we've known.
well, I don't know about that. It's 2021, mate.
I know. Yeah, 2021 was bad, but I mean, for like levels of consistently being bad, I mean, it seems like every single race week we've had something to speak about of the FIA making a bad decision. Whereas 2021, obviously, there were a handful of decisions which led to the ultimate downfall of the season finale in Abu Dhabi. But yeah, no, this season it just seems to be every single race there's something that's.
Can I just make a point, actually, that if Hamilton does get past Russell, he'll obviously have beaten him on points.
Yes, of course, yeah.
There is technically that to play for between the both of them.
And the thing, going back to sticking with the whole Hamilton subject, one thing that I hate is the amount of people that say, "Oh, Hamilton needs to retire now. He's clearly not good enough," when he's won more races in the last what? Well, no, he's won a race more recently than Alonso, but people never seem to question, "Oh, why is Alonso still in the sport?" So, well. Oh, that could be quite big for McLaren. Lando Norris coming across the radio saying that he's struggling in dirty air with Sainz chasing him down. Obviously, for me at the minute, the gap is not on the screen. It's just the points, but very, very interesting to see. Also, Kevin Magnussen is still on those softs, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
How on earth has he managed to keep those softs running for that long?
Williams in the points as well. First time said that.
Yes, Alex Albon for the first time in what seems like a long time. He's in the points position. So, I mean, it's not really a top 5 that you would have seen coming, but it's certainly not one that I hate.
No.
So, I mean, it could have been very, very different if for certain someone didn't throw themselves into the side of someone at turn 1, but there you go. We've seen that one before. But yeah, I think overall it's been a rather enjoyable race.
Can I just say, by the way, whilst we're on this podcast now, as obviously I wasn't on last week's, the predictions from last week, probably the worst week, considering it was a sprint weekend.
I think Will worked out that we didn't get any points.
No, so it was I got none, and you and Will only got one each. Olly, you got a Russell P2 in sprint quali, and Will got a Russell P2 in quali. That is literally it. So across a maximum of 40 points, 2 points were scored. So actually, no, between 120 points, 2 points were scored.
Yeah, no, we really did not have a good weekend, did we?
No.
But that's it. I think that's
and then so far this weekend, we all got a point for Norris, pole, and quali.
And that's it.
That's it.
Wow. No, it's that thing. It's like the start of the season. It was so easy to predict because it was literally just, oh yeah, Max is winning, so we'll put Max first in every single session. Then we'll put Lando Norris somewhere there, Lewis somewhere there,
Ferrari bait,
and then yeah, all of a sudden it all seemed to go and change. So I presume this is Carlos Sainz going into the pits. Oh no, as you said, they've just baited. Yep. So who would that? Yeah, that would have been Sainz. So that would have put Leclerc P2, if I'm correct. If Sainz did come into pit, I'm not sure what the average time for a stop is, but I can assure you that it's probably less than 22 or more than 22 seconds. Also, Alonso's still in the points as well. And overtaking, oh no, that's Lance Stroll actually making an overtake. Interesting. But yeah, I think
7 laps to go as it stands. The key points of this podcast are McLaren will win the Constructors' Championship. Ben Parker will win the Predictions League. And that's it.
Well, who will come first in the...
Sainz thinks he went over Debris. He went over Nick Debris.
Ah. Well, surely you got a yellow flag it then. Yellow flag it with only 5-6 laps left. Oh, we've seen that one before at Abu Dhabi, haven't we, Michael Massey? But no, I think Ben, we've got 6 laps to go. What are your final thoughts of how this season's been?
It's been so much better, and for that's all I can ask for. I've said all along that Max winning is not the end of the world as long as he's challenged for it, and he has been challenged for it, and this year he has shown that he is capable. Wow, he's capable of winning when he's not in the fastest car. Whether he's capable of wheel-to-wheel racing still, but he has done very well, and he does deserve his flowers for that, and I have given him his flowers for that. So yeah, I think I've been great, and obviously we've had all these multiple winners, broken so many records. It has been really good season. Been a privilege to watch it.
No, it has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, who would you trying to think of what things we could say? Should we go through? I say we go through every single team.
I just want to enjoy these last 5 laps with Lewis in the Mercedes. I just want to just weep and watch.
Surely we've got to have a Lewis. It's hammer time.
Well, this is what I've been waiting for. Oh, Leclerc is currently winning driver of the day. I knew he would.
Yeah, I mean, I know it'd be nice to give it to Lewis. I think it'd be a different story if Lewis was retiring, but yeah. I think it's got to go to Leclerc for what he's done today. I mean, what a performance to go from P19, the back row of the grid, to the podium. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant drive. So, Ben, and you said about Williams in the points. Oscar Piastri has now taken that away from him. So I don't see Williams getting any points now.
I've
Obviously,
still got fastest lap here.
he does. And I don't really see anyone changing that because there's not a big enough gap for anyone to come in and pit. Unless, do you reckon they would pit Lewis just to go, Lewis, it's hammer time for one last time?
I don't think so.
Surely we're going to hear it's hammer time. We've got to hear it's hammer time.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
And I mean, he's catching George at a rate of knots. And I mean, he's probably going to get him before the end of this race, I'd imagine. Lewis is just at a purple sector 1, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I wonder if Lewis is going to get a fastest lap because that will be something special. But I think, you know what, you got to give your flowers to Norris this race. He's been lights to flag, absolutely fantastic. He's not put a foot wrong. So I know me and Will have certainly criticised him a lot this season for some of his antics, both over team radio and in the car. But no, I think this race he has been absolutely sublime. So fair play to him, and he's really helped. Well, he's pretty much wrapped up the championship for him tonight. So fair play to McLaren. I'm sure you're happy with the
happy for
the
the team. MTC will be lit up tonight in orange papaya, I'm sure. But just more importantly, what a season I have had in the Predictions League. I mean, from the word go, I've never ever once been in third position. I've been first or second all the way, and there's been times where I've celebrated and I've backed it up, and Will's taken the lead and he's given me the years, and then I've come back. I was the first person this season to claim a 4-pointer. I've just absolutely smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. And as it currently stands, I'll be the only person to have made the 80-point mark as well, because Will's not scoring as it stands. So listen, I've broken all sorts of records this year, all sorts of records.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to my prize. I'm hoping that my trophy's engraved, but we shall see. I hope it's not some crappy little mug or something. But yeah, there we go. I'm hoping for a little Trackside Pod F1 champion or Predictions League champion, because I would have done it for the winner. But Lewis is really closing on George now. Just give me another point.
Jack Sinner. Oh, Yannick Sinner, sorry.
Yannick Sinner, yeah.
So the whole thing of Lewis having names on his car. Where are the actual names?
They're there somewhere. I applied. Yeah,
I applied as well, but they're not on the car.
You can't see it. I think he had to remove the sticker, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm not surprised because it is right in the eye line of the driver. Like, I can understand Lewis's point of it being distracting. So,
as soon as they cross the line on it, should we wrap it up? Because I really want to listen to the post race radios.
Yeah. No, that's.
But it has been really good to do this with you, mate. We did it last year with Vegas. We've done it again this year with Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Shame about the delay, but
yeah, no, it is a little bit. But hey, these things happen. I think unless we were wired up to actual skyboxes, we wouldn't.
And actually, as well, Olly King, you've overtaken me in episodes now.
Have I?
So you are the lead runner of episodes.
Wow, there we go.
I can confirm that this is episode 50, and you have done 46. I've done 45.
Oh wow.
You missed Monaco in 2023, Austria in 2023, the Great Britain preview in 2023 and Spain 2024?
Yes. And that is only because I think I was just working a lot of the time, to be perfectly honest. Well, Spain this year I was on holiday and it was Finney's birthday, so couldn't exactly do the pod then. But no, it's certainly been an enjoyable season to commentate on as Lando Norris starts the last lap.
Yellow flag sector 2. Wonder what that's for. Don't let it affect Lewis trying to get past George.
Is K-Mag doing donuts already on the home straight?
Is it Lawson?
Oh, I'd imagine so.
Oh, green flag, we're back. It is Lawson. His car's, it's not on fire, it's just smoky. It's still moving.
Hmm.
Oh my God, it's still moving. He's getting out of a moving car.
And this is still green flagged?
Yeah.
Huh.
Go on, Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is confirmation that Ben Parker has won the 2024 Predictions League.
I can't believe we didn't hear it's hammer time.
McLaren have won the Constructors.
Because Lando Norris takes the checkered flag and wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It was all McLaren needed to get their car home in front.
Well done, McLaren. Oh, Lewis! 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 He's gone past George! He's gone past George! Go on, Lewis! Go on, Lewis! Yes! He's done it. He's beaten George over the 3 years.
Well.
He's finished P4. I have won the 2024 Predictions League. What an ending! We've got Woking on the top step. We've got Lewis beating George. We've got Ben winning the Predictions League. Wrap this up. That is your clip. We are done. What a season.
Wow. Well, what an end to this season. It has been a pleasure with speaking to you this race weekend, Ben, and following it along kind of live, not really live. But I will love you and leave you. Enjoy listening to Lewis's
Thank you.
race rundown. And yeah, like, subscribe, follow all our socials, whatever. We will be doing another episode, probably like a one-off little episode at some point in the next coming weeks. But yes, thank you for listening, and we will see you whenever we see you.